righty, folks. Hello out there in Radio Land. It is Monday. It is Monday. It is the beginning of the week, and we are a week and 4 days out from Turkey Day. Who's counting that far ahead? I surely am. This is On the Record with Brian Summers. I am your handsome, dark-skinned, bald host. That is me. Yes, I am every mother's favorite boy. That is me. That is me. And so here we are. Here we are. You have arrived on 1400 AM, 105.9 FM, and all of everything in 100.7 FM. WSIC is a call letters. Folks, you know it. We're out here on Radio Road. We have arrived. We have arrived. So if you're in that I-77 and 40 traffic, let me just tell you, for an hour you can listen to me. You can talk to me. You can even call me up. But just don't do it and drive. How about do the hands-free kind of thing like that if you're going to do it? Anyway, give me a call. It's Monday. We're going to talk a little bit here. I have the judge here, folks. I have the judge. And if you were in court this morning, you saw him. But guess what? We're not going to talk your case. We're not going to make it public. But we're going to talk to the judge. The judge is here because somebody said I was so crazy I needed legal advice. And I said, well, I'm going to call somebody who can advise me. And I have the one, the Honorable Judge Rob Young right here live in my studio, folks. There he is right there. Look at him. Oh, yeah, he's just come right out of court, minus everything but the robe. Look at him. There he is, folks. So here he is, our Honorable District Judge Rob Young, and he's a friend to this show. I think you've made more appearances on this show than anybody.
I feel like this is just a second home anymore. It's always great to be here and to come back every time.
And in my company.
And and it only gets better. Yes.
Oh, they're saying, man, that Brian Summers, he don't have a whole lot of friends. He has that guy on all the time. I wonder if he's paying him to come on. Yes, it is.
No,
residual
he is not doing that.
Residual effects of it all. Oh, but anyway, but welcome to on the record. It's Monday. We've got a lot to really unload and pack and talk about. The Supreme Court is back now.
Yes, it is.
So we can kind of opine a little bit on some of the cases before them just to get your legalistic opinion because you're a very smart man. I would even venture to say I consider you a serious constitutional scholar. Is that too much?
Oh, yeah.
I really do.
I'm serious. Whether I'm a scholar, I spend a lot of time. I do, and it's not just our Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court, but our Supreme Court in North Carolina. I spend a lot of time reading decisions because, ultimately it impacts what I do. And I'll tell you, it's funny you mentioned we've got there's a case right now in front of the Supreme Court addressing a very important right. A lot of people are very, very much interested in seeing the outcome, and that is in these circumstances in which a person is in a domestic violence sort of situation.
We can talk about that. Yes,
whether or not there is appropriate safeguards in place in these proceedings to strip the persons of a constitutional right, in a child custody situation, you can't remove a child from the custody of a parent unless you have a certain level of finding, and usually it's clear, cogent, convincing evidence kind of standard. These proceedings, domestic violence proceedings, are a preponderance standard, and then they lose rights to gun ownership, at least temporarily. So the Supreme Court's taking on a very compelling issue, whether or not courts can use this lesser standard to remove weapons and firearms from the owners, and especially in light of the jurisprudence that's come down, Heller being one of the most more significant cases where the court affirmatively establishes it wasn't a right of a militia to be armed, but the individual citizen to be armed. That raises some important questions. You're talking about a constitutional right that's absolutely vested within the citizen. And what happens when they're in these proceedings? It's going to be a very interesting argument and so forth. And of course, October being Domestic Violence Month, anti-domestic, awareness. We got about 3 minutes before the break. I am very much against, in my opinion, my personal opinion. This is my show. You don't like it? Take it up. Meet you out back of the building here. I am against violent people, especially men that abuse women, men that abuse children, being able to go out and get a gun after being charged as an abuser. Yeah,
whether it be the boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, the angry boyfriend, the mad, the ex-husband, kid's father, even if you've displayed things of violence that has had to get in law enforcement, that have had to come in and enforce protections, you should not be able to. I'm just saying my opinion. They say, well, when do I get a right to? There should be consequences. You know, in this country, we're always talking accountability. We're always talking consequences. What are the consequences for your behavior and your actions?
Yeah.
What are they? I'm sorry, but if I'm that dad and somebody is slapping around my daughter and she can't tell me or doesn't tell me, and then it gets it, and they hear it from neighbors and they call and report it, and it comes out that, you know, she's got this boyfriend and he's, you know, pushing her around and being aggressive with her, you know, heck no. I don't want him then to go to the local pawn shop and buy a gun because he's mad, you know, but I'm so in love. If you're so in love, you treat people like you love them and not objects of your force and your brute. I say that as a husband, I say as a father, heck no. I mean, and I know there are people, your rights stop when you start abusing somebody else. Your rights go out the window. If that's the case, there are no consequences again. Yeah. Who are you accountable to? What are the consequences? Your rights go out the window. It's the same thing, in my opinion, when it just got to be consequences for it.
Well, I don't think the Supreme Court is going to be disparaging the consequential side of things. I think they're going to say, you know, and it's not just weapons against themselves. There are a number of these domestic violence cases, allegations of suicidal ideation. These guys are going to kill themselves and things like that. And so the
court's going to say, it's all right for you to go get a gun and kill yourself.
Yeah. So the task for the court is to balance the individual rights versus the implications of that right. And that implication could be that somebody could really seriously get hurt, or the person in question will get hurt.
Wow.
So it's a big one.
So they have that they're faced with, as well as something that the court has said has risen to the level to get their attention. Mm-hmm. There is something else too about hearing about birthright citizenship. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Is also on the courts. It's in the purview for. I'm not sure what jurisdiction that challenge is coming out, what appellate that's coming out. But I mean, it's just so the court's got a lot to unload. I don't think it's as much as it was like last year when they had all of the things around affirmative action and CRT and all that stuff. But anyways, it's always interesting things at our Supreme Court.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, and one of the things that's going to be interesting for going forward in North Carolina. The rules have changed recently. There used to be, if you had an appellate case that went to the Court of Appeals, if one of the judges on a 3-judge panel dissented, then you had an appeal of right to the Supreme Court. Now you don't. Now the Supreme Court in North Carolina mirrors the Supreme Court in the United States.
Okay.
They have absolute discretion as to what
proceeds,
what goes up before them.
Okay.
And it's going to be an interesting thing because. It's going to be interesting what they do, what cases they take,
okay.
And it's going to be interesting to see what happens on the appellate level, the lower Court of Appeals appellate level, given that there's no more.
Good deal. We'll be right back. This is On the Record with Brian Summers, Judge Rob Young, right here, folks. Listen live.
There's
FM and 100.7 FM as well. And we're out here on Radio Road in the heart of Statesville, I like to say, Iredell County, where I was born early one Sunday morning. Not really. But anyway, I am talking with the Honorable Judge Rob Young, Iredell Alexander District Judge. He holds that seat. What is that, 2nd District, 4th District? Or?
It is District 22.
22. I should remember that. Yeah. 22.
And I always mess this up. 20. Well,
is there? Correct me.
For whatever reason, I blank out of that. I think it's 22B.
Okay.
But I may be wrong.
Okay.
I don't know why I would forget that. You'd think I would remember a thing like that. But you know what? Sure. If I'm going to forget anything this day.
So does that mean anybody you have sentenced
who
said they were in 22A?
No, I believe
they can now get out of jail because, hey, he sentenced me in the wrong district.
22A is the district that I believe was the original district, which was Davidson and Davie. But in any event, I 22A, 22B. For whatever reason on the show, I can never get that straight. But if that's all I forget, I'm doing well. You know?
Absolutely.
It's definitely 22, and then fill in the blank.
Okay. Hey, it could be 22, fill in the blank. Get out of jail card.
No.
Anyway, talking with Judge Rob Young here, folks, District Judge for Iredell and Alexander County. Great guy, friend of the show. And we were talking some things happening and coming up. They were actually before the Supreme Court, actually. And I'm not sure how much or what is over in Raleigh at our North Carolina Supreme Court. And how does it? Have you actually argued anything before the North Carolina Supreme Court?
I've in my career prior to becoming a judge, I argued one time. Well, I've had a lot of appellate experience. I think about 30 occasions to have an appellate case before either the Supreme Court or the Court of Appeals. But one time I argued in front of the Court of Appeals, and then 2 times I argued in front of the Supreme Court.
Wow.
The most recent occasion, I hate to say that the first time was not a favorable outcome for me. It did not work out, and I had some difficulty. But we gave it.
Were you nervous?
Absolutely. So I was there with it was a juvenile case. I was there with a person who represented the guardian ad litem program, and we were so nervous. There's a little room outside of the main chamber, and it's a law library which no one uses, by the way. And she was organizing, straightening things in the room. And I was pacing around in circles. I think I wore a hole in the floor. If you go there today, you'll see the hole I wore in the floor. That's how nervous we were. And it's a very difficult thing to face down a panel of justices.
Yeah, wow.
And some of them just don't see it the way you do. But that was the first experience. It didn't work out the way we wanted. But then the second occasion was right before I ascended to the bench, and we won.
Well,
and I was just ecstatic.
Here.
Yeah, it worked out well, and we got a very good outcome for some juveniles, and I was just pleased. It's like if that's my last appellate case, I'm happy as a lark on that score. But
it's good. There, so we not only have a scholarly lawyer here, we have a champion lawyer who's actually won something before the North Carolina Supreme Court.
Well, one time.
Hey, listen.
I got a 50.
Hey, listen. There are some people sitting on the bench who've never argued a case. Okay, most certainly never been to Raleigh to do a case, and so no matter what they campaign on, anyway. So,
but I'll tell you, it is a significant experience. Our Supreme Court is a very dignified institution. Our Court of Appeals is a dignified institution. They're very dignified institutions. When you're there, you can feel the history is on the wall. The history is in the building. It just seeps history,
sure.
And that dignity is just inescapable when you're there. So you just really feel like you are in a very elevated position, and you're privileged to be able to argue in front of these individuals.
I don't know. Did I ever tell you that while I was on the Hill, I applied to go to law school?
No, I don't know if I heard that.
I applied at GW. I got in. I took the LSAT. I got in, and I didn't go. Because, it was just like, everybody was doing the Hill by day in law school. Like, they were going to American, they were going to GW, they were going down to UDC. And I was just like, I didn't really feel it. and then ended up marrying a lawyer. So there you go.
Yeah,
who became a judge. So there you go.
Had it in your hands, but you wanted something more.
Yeah, closer.
You wanted somebody else to take the lumps.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I wanted law, but not quite that law. Yeah. But it was interesting, and I mean, sometimes I think I still kind of might have that kind of fight in me, but nah, I'm really and then I had friends. Then I have some friends who went to law school, never practiced.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, really? She spent 4 years going to night school, and and I'm like, well, I haven't taken the bar yet. And when you've been out of law school, how many? 8 years?
Going to take the bar
right,
ever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's a scary fact, but true, that when you get out of law school, you are going to know more about the law than you will ever know when as you pass through the years. And it's just because there's just so much. There's just so much and what you do as you enter the practice, you figure out what you need to know, and you learn more about that, and you pay less attention to the other areas of law.
Right.
I have never had occasion, not one occasion, where I had to, as an attorney, render an opinion on admiralty. It just never even. I've been in plenty of rowboats, but never had a question on admiralty. But I'm sure if I was a New Bern, I would.
Wow.
That's a situation. So you learn, you focus on what you see and what you need to know, and that other stuff, it doesn't disappear altogether. I mean, I can still quote some strange cases from law school and sort of strange laws and so forth. There's a property law case. Everybody knows the law in Shelley's case. I've never used it either.
So question then.
Yes.
So correct me, because I think me and my friends had a debate at that time when I applied to law school. We're roommates. So do you take property your first year, or does it come your third year?
Each school does it differently. In my particular
case, we had big debates about this.
Yeah,
constitutional law was one.
Yeah,
that was first year.
Con law 1 and 2 are usually first year subjects.
Yep. So those are foundational, and then property was like in the first semester, second year.
Yes, that's correct. And
we went back and forth,
yes.
and all of us that had applied, and some was going to American. I think myself and my roommate Colin was. We were both going to go to GW, but we had two guys. One was going to go up to UMBC Baltimore, and one was going to American. And of the four, two of us did not do it.
Yeah,
I was one. And I remember thinking like, okay, I'm struggling as it is. I wasn't even making $22,000 on Capitol Hill, but here I was going to go. I had no debt from college. Had no debt from college, and I was like, I am struggling. Rent is like high. 4 guys, 1 bedroom, and I was like, I'm not gonna do this like this. And I was it just did not. I didn't feel it, and I was like, so I'm gonna do the Hill. And the Hill for me was everything. I wasn't gonna do that by day and then go to law library, go to class at night, and then struggle, and then in further debt, with no guarantee that I was ever going to get hired anywhere. So all that was playing in my mind.
Oh, absolutely. And this is the reality for students today. And there's a lot of, I'm hoping there's some folks out there who are aspiring law students.
Listen up, students.
Yes, listen.
One, Zoe Clark. She was on my show last week. She's a friend of mine. She's got a daughter of mine, and she's wanting to go to Chapel Hill. So she's like, I'm between nursing and law. And I'm like, listen, I encourage you, really go for it. Do it if you really feel it. So
the law, from my standpoint, it's a noble profession. It's been said 1,000 times, but it really is. It is absolutely essential that we have trained lawyers and we have the skill that they are known for or they're trained for available to the public, because they are just indispensable. I mean, I know there's the old Shakespearean quip, first thing we do is kill all the lawyers. Well, if you did, society would come to a collapse. We need good people to go into the law. We need good people to go into law. But that being said, it's not for the weak of heart. And I'll tell you, my experience in law school was tough. It was tough. I say this, I've said this multiple times, that when I graduated, the day I graduated, I turned to my wife, who was the anchor and support of my law school career. She kept the home fires burning and kept the food on the table. But I told her, I said, listen, if I ever get nostalgic for law school, I want you to haul off and kick me as hard as you can to remind me of every day in law school. And I said, it's tough. It's really tough. And back in the day when I was in law school, I was terrified of the fact that they were charging $11,500 a year.
See,
it's $50,000 to $60,000 to $70,000 to $80,000 a year, and that's a very difficult thing for students to take on.
Wow. Yeah.
So
and like it's just interesting. So like my daughter. So she went to Columbia undergrad, no interest in she didn't take the LSAT, no interest in going to law school, mother's law, no interest, nothing in the public service interest at all. She is, a writer at NPR and does their international stuff, and just got back from Greece. And so I don't know, but I know tons of folks who I've tried to share with, encourage kids at Statesville High, even listen, go get your 2 years and go ahead, try, go to law school, do your best, and get the foundations of it. It's an awesome thing. Speaking of lawyers, there's a new program coming to Iredell County, which kind of gives us a good lead into. It is the Public Defender's Office that's going to be coming to Iredell County.
It is.
First time ever, folks. So listen, breaking news here on the record with Brian Summers, Judge Rob Young here of Iredell, Alexander County, District 22. We don't know what else follows that, but he's going to tell us about the fact that there is a public defender's office now coming to Iredell County. And after this break, we're going to come right back and hear all about that, when we can expect that to be open and having a lead and assistance and all that good stuff. This is On the Record with Brian Summers. Happy Monday out there for you. Call us up, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. Brian Summers, On the Record.
On the Record with
You're 65, so it shouldn't be too bad out there. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Get into Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville.
Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville. We've got the power buys, including a 2022 Chevrolet work truck. That's the long bed, record cab, two-wheel drive V8 engine. These trucks range anywhere from 8,000 miles up to 15,000 miles. How much? $23,988. $23,988. Huge selection. Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville. Come see us today. Right on Gaither Road. Look for the spinning car, folks, because that is where the deals are.
King of Price. RandyMarionStatesville.com.
This is Todd Starnes. Be sure to stay up to date with all that's happening surrounding the elections. It's going to be a wild ride, and I'll keep you informed weekdays noon to 3 right here on WSIC.
Hello, everyone. This is Joshua Dobie from North Main Financial Group. We're blessed at North Main Financial Group that most of our clients come to us by referral. When folks have a good experience with us, they share that good experience with their friends, family, and colleagues. In doing so, when we're sitting with folks, then we're looking at their financial plan and seeing if it aligns with their goals and their desires for what yet lies ahead, be it college, be it retirement, or be it estate planning. If that sounds of interest to you, we'd love to hear from you. Reach out to us at northmainfinancial.com.
Check out these great propane-powered deals from G&B Energy in Statesville, and you can get cozy with the new fireplace and save up to $350 in rebates on Cozy Heat fireplaces or receive a free on-off remote when purchasing gas lock sets over $700. Best of all, Renai Tickless water heaters start at $430 after rebates. Visit G&B Energy today off Highway 70 at 120 Entercraft Drive in Statesville or go to gbenergy.com.
Fall is here, and Little Shavers has the supplies you need. Wheat straw, pine needle, grass seed, pelletized line, landscape edging, and railroad cross ties. Got a deck that needs staining? Little Shavers has PPG paints and stains at prices you can afford. Fall is a great time to replace your furnace filters at Little Shavers. Get the products you need at reasonable prices from Little Shavers, 3301 Salisbury Road in Statesville.
Morning Star Baptist Church loves its family, its community, and its country, but most importantly, loves Jesus Christ. Hear their ministry Sunday mornings at 9:30 on WSIC.
On the Record continues. Here's your host, Brian Summers, on the new 105.9 100 WSIC.
All right, yeah, that's that theme music. I don't know, I want to get my Motown music playing every bumper, doggone it, versus just once I have 4 whole breaks on and get it there. I'm going to talk to Ben about that, Brother Ben. Anyway, folks, you're back. Here it is On the Record. I'm your host, Brian Summers, and I'm sitting talking with the Honorable Judge Rob Young, who we have established.
Yes, 22A
is a
Why on earth? I could not. It's something about this being in the studio. I can't. The first 2 letters of the alphabet confuse me.
Yes, and so we had a bet that everybody that he had held over the bench and he had sentenced from the 22 unknown, they all got a free get out of jail card. They could all get out of jail because he wasn't sure what district. He said, yeah, 22A. But anyway, all in fun. Good to have Rob Young here, folks, District Judge for Alexander and Iredell County. And we were talking, and we were just getting into some great news for Iredell, some history-making news for Iredell. And I don't know why it's not a big deal out there, really. Is it Iredell County, starting January, going to have a public defender's office?
Yeah, they're working on the getting the whole program up and running. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time because there's a lot of moving parts.
And I don't want to be the first.
Don't expect things up and running in January. I can tell you that isn't going to happen. But they are.
But it's coming.
They are working.
It's been funded.
Yes,
number one.
Yes,
and that's a good thing.
Funding was in the last budget,
okay.
And so it provided for a public defender for this jurisdiction.
Good deal.
It also provided for 12 assistant public defenders and also support staff. So it's going to be a fully funded office.
Man.
I think there's going to be an issue of where to put them. That's an issue that I think it's not that it's unimportant, but it's going to be an issue to figure out that. But and then they're going to have to select the public defender. That's going to be a vote.
The chief? Is that a chief among the 12?
Well,
or does that come from the
so there's going to be nominations made by the bar, and
okay.
that's going to come later on in the year, and then there's going to be a decision made based on that. But once that decision's made, then the hiring is going to be done for the other positions, and then you'll start to see a public defender's office take shape.
Okay.
And I think that's the citizens of Iredell County are certainly going to be well served by a fully staffed public defender's office.
Yeah, absolutely.
I worked in a jurisdiction, Buncombe County, where they had a public defender's office, and they're very professional. It's not to say that level of service is not being provided now it certainly, there are some excellent representations going on every day. I see excellent attorneys providing vigorous and zealous defense for their clients. There's not an issue there. The problem is that in so many instances, we don't have people on the list that could take cases.
Sure.
And so this is going to assure some continuity.
Can you believe I would ever say there's a shortage of lawyers?
Well, there's not a shortage of lawyers. It's a shortage of lawyers who are able to
do public defender cases
because they have,
specialize.
Their schedules, their circumstances are what they are.
Okay.
They may or may not be able to be on the list. And it also, I will tell you that one factor that also contributes is funding. We're in a jurisdiction that there are limitations on the amount of compensation they would get. So that also discourages participation to some extent. But I think this is going to help address those many issues, and I look forward to that public defender's office.
I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting news that we have public defenders. I mean, because I think there are so many times, there are so many little things that don't get addressed because someone doesn't have an advocate for them in the courtroom. Mm-hmm. They don't have that person to go out and champion that. And you may have people who solely go to law school, become lawyers solely to be that kind of public advocate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's enough, in my opinion, in and around Iredell that will surely keep them busy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, the reality is, every time a person's charged with a criminal defense, and when I give first appearances, my job is to tell them about what charge they face, and also to tell them about their right to counsel. And they give 3 options generally, unless they're not possibly going to jail. They can represent themselves. They can hire an attorney. They can ask for court-appointed counsel. If they ask for court-appointed counsel, we'll find them an attorney who's on the list. It's not an issue that people are going without legal counsel. They are, if they choose to represent themselves, then that's one thing. But the thing is that sometimes we have a limited list and we have problems appointing a person. Let's say we have a situation where there are multiple co-defendants. That becomes a very difficult situation because one attorney can't represent everybody, and there's only and if you only have a certain number of people, you run out of people on the list, and then you have to do some extra creative things to get everybody represented. Not that we haven't handled that. It just is problematic, and a professional public defender's office has the staff to handle these large-scale emergencies.
Good deal. Very good. Well, that's very good news. I'm excited that Iredell is going to have that. Now, what Iredell doesn't have that Alexander has is a drug court.
That's correct.
And so I'm sure you may be aware last week, 2 young ladies, because I said they were young ladies, were under 30 years old, overdosed on meth.
Yes.
Found in an apartment here in Statesville. 2 young ladies. And I just don't know if there's enough awareness out there about these harmful drugs. That's not crack, that's not cocaine, that's heroin, that's meth, that's whether it be the opioids or the pills, things out there that are killing young people.
Oh, absolutely.
And whether it's something that you take, even in a vape. I watched something over the weekend that if you could take a vape, lace it with something, and it'll kill somebody.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, I mean, there are enough young people that I see doing this stuff, and so I can't say too much though, because I'm a volunteer in the school system. But there are young people doing this garbage, putting this, and they don't know what they're doing. They don't know where sucking this stuff into your lungs, what your lungs looks like. And I really want to get someone on who can really explain and talk about the effects of vaping. And are there laws? You have to be 18 to buy the stuff. I think it's like cigarettes. Yet the city of Statesville has 16 vape shops. 16. You've got more vape shops than you've got grocery stores. You've got more vape shops than you've got hospitals, urgent cares, things that help society along. You've got this I call it garbage, because that's just what it is. And it is addicting, and it's attracting. It is getting to our kids and our grandkids. And it is not cool. I don't care how much suck it in, puff it out, suck it in. It is not cool. And by the time you're 30 years old, you will have breathing problems because your lungs would have been sucked up and dried up from messing with that garbage. That's just my opinion. You're the judge. You
there's you've addressed a very significant problem in this community, also in Alexandria, and that's why we are working on getting our drug court developed there. But one thing I want to just emphasize, and there's an attitude, and it's this. I grew up with this attitude. I say grew up in a society that had an attitude of marijuana is not that big of a thing. It's just marijuana is it's just
recreational.
It's not a gateway drug. All these bizarre things, which were they were questionable then. Well, the reality of the matter is the 1968 marijuana that was on the street is not the 2023 marijuana that's on the street. There's a component of marijuana that creates the intoxicating effect, that's the THC in it. The levels of THC in today's marijuana this isn't your grandpa's marijuana, to use that phrase. It's extremely potent, and it absolutely leads a person to an area where you wouldn't have in years past. Not to say that these things weren't intoxicating or they didn't have an effect. And what I see so often is this attitude is just marijuana. It's just, well, the state of North Carolina says that it is not a permissible product, no matter what, and you are not allowed to use it. But I see so many people they believe that possession is their right, and other states too. Well, that's fine, but the state of North Carolina says no, and to the extent that they say that, you're facing the potential for incarceration if you're found in possession of it. And so I'd urge everybody not to take that attitude. It's a very serious problem.
Yeah.
So and we deal with that in court, and I take possession very seriously.
Well, good deal. We'll be right back. You heard the judge. He said he takes it very serious. We're talking things here on the record with Brian Summers, Judge Rob Young. Folks, be right back.
Keep it right here on the record with Brian Summers. 101.7 WSIC.
Yeah, there it is again. I didn't hear any of my Motown music. I'm going to figure out what's going on here. All right, Ben Daniels, doggone it now. Anyway, we'll get back. Anyway, we're back here. We're live on the record here with Judge Rob Young of 22A as a district, Alexander Iredell County. We're having a little fun. We're talking a lot of things going on, judicial stuff. New announcement, the fact that Iredell County is going to have a district attorney, going to have a public defender's office with as many as 13 staff there. So it'll be the public defender and 12 assistants. I think that's pretty good. I don't even know how many DAs we have in this county. We have that many?
Oh, I don't know the answer to that.
I think we may have more public.
Well, yeah, I think there's some parity there. I don't imagine you're getting more, but I think it's about even.
Good gracious.
Yeah,
okay. All right. Very good.
So
anyway, well that's very exciting. We're talking about the drug court. We talked about the fact there's going to be public defenders, and so it's just a lot happening in our country, and laws are changing and going into effect. I don't think we can get into any trouble if we talk a little bit about truancy.
Oh yeah, well it's a problem too.
Okay,
and I know you see this. The kids need to be in school to learn. If they're not in school, the odds are they're probably not learning. And parents, part of a parent's responsibility every day, and the mandatory attendance laws require that you make sure your child is in attendance at school. And
it is the law.
It is the law.
So the fourth Thursday of every month is truancy court. And, the judges are really serious about this stuff. You miss 40-some days of school in one semester, mom, dad, whoever has account of you, we'll go 3 days of lockup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very serious, and it's not, and I mean, I hear all this stuff, and but it is very serious. Truancy is important. It is the law. Yep. And I think we may try to, see what we can do to push some public PSAs here. I'm going to talk to Justin, because I don't think it's enough put out there as how important it is. If your kid is skipping school and you at work and you don't know, or even if you do know, you're still accountable. If your kid is at home still in the bed and you're at work, you're still accountable. Yeah. I think I'm going to see if I can record some PSAs on just truancy. Yeah. Guess what? And then have some bars come across for sound effect. This is where it can land you. You want to get a weekend down at our new jail? This will get you there. Truancy court will get you there. What say you, Judge?
Well, I mean, everybody who's charged with truancy is just like any other offense. They have a right to defend it, but the reality of the matter is it is a criminal offense to allow your child to be truant, and it is possible that you could get a period of incarceration. It is entirely possible that could happen. But the more important thing is that when truancy occurs, a child is significantly handicapped, and particularly a lot of these cases that involve truancy involve people of lower economic stature. They have difficulties financially, and so forth. And when you do, it's absolute fact that education is a path out of poverty. If you get your high school diploma, the odds are you will earn far more than if you're a high school dropout or a dropout before. And if you go on from there, it's even better. And if you don't give your child every opportunity, if you're in those circumstances and you don't give your child every opportunity, you don't allow them to graduate because they can't graduate, because they get behind, because you're not making sure they're going to school, you're doing them a disservice. You're basically condemning them to a life of further economic disadvantage. And it's sad, and it's completely avoidable. And I know people are working. They have to work. Some of these homes are single family, or a single wage earner in the family, and they have to work. I understand, and it's hard to keep track of a kid who they want to lay out of school. There's a million ways to do it, but you got to be vigilant. Being a parent's not easy. You have to be vigilant. You have to be sure. And if you're getting reports from the school that your son or daughter is not showing up to school, then that's the next question is you need to have a conversation with that child and find out what's going on and make efforts to make sure that doesn't happen for your own sake and theirs.
Absolutely, Judge. You're right. And it's the school can only do its part. You are the parent, and you have charge. the school system is not the babysitter for your child.
That's right.
But anyway, we're going to move right on into that. We got about 8 minutes left in the show. I always have to do this every day. Everyone has a birthday. Judge, when's your birthday?
Coming up the first day of December.
The 1st of December.
Yeah, 1st of December. We start off the greatest month of the year with my birthday. Why not? Why not?
Well, I am the entire month of January. How about that?
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll make sure to have you back here on December 1 for sure. Anyway, we got some birthdays in our area. Birthdays today. Anthony McClellan, longtime Statesville guy. His birthday is today. Allison Bumgardner graduated high school with her Statesville class 1980. We'll say that number. She's a birthday today. Happy birthday, Allison Bumgardner. Shatara Gilchrist, happy birthday to you. Karen Williams Parks, also a graduate of our 1989 class. Happy birthday to you. Nichelle Fields, Treva Blunkers, Justice Nesbitt, my cousin. Elaine Donnelly, happy birthday to you. Brandy Turner Kelly. She's also a cousin too on the Turner side. Happy birthday to you. Lucy Payrette. Happy birthday. Tim Ayers. Happy birthday to you. Christine Little. Happy birthday to you. Eric Wolf. Denise Sullivan Sutton. Kathy Turner. Carl Gray. Pastor Carl Gray. Sylvia Stevenson. Amy Bynum. And Rachel Sampson Ellis and Ken Rudlin. Ken Rudlin, happy birthday to you. Let's see, some yesterdays we missed because it was Sunday. Reggie Imes, Pamela Dornick, Michelle Conway Pate, happy birthday to you. Yorel Israel, happy birthday. Pinky Cabell, happy birthday. Terry Dexter, happy birthday. Yolanda White, happy birthday to you. Deneen Garvin, happy birthday to you. Denise Wilkerson, happy birthday. Matt Mercer, a political consultant over in Raleigh, good friend of mine. And the man himself, the myth, the legend, he lives, David Pope. Happy birthday yesterday to David Pope. He is all about 30 years old, folks. Yeah, and everybody laughs. Anyway, David Pope. Christina Anderson, happy birthday to you. Janet Torres Duran, happy birthday. Frida Scott, family cousin, happy birthday to you. Tiffany Bayonne, happy birthday. Russell Alexander, he's a cousin on the Russell's on the Turner side too. Russell Alexander, happy birthday. Tracy Morgan, I grew up with her, happy birthday to you. Larry Czar Thompson, happy birthday. Tracy Good Burnett, happy birthday to you. Tracy Good from Statesville High School. Cheryl Adams, happy birthday. Annie Lepore, happy birthday. Frida Truly Bless Morrison. Sandra Fairclough and Melanie Malone. So that is it, folks. Birthdays, whew, a lot of folks. Happy birthday to all of y'all. I'm not sure where your gifts are coming from, but I do say happy birthday to you. So rolling along and doing well fine. I don't think I missed anybody, but Judge, thank you for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here and all that. It's always a pleasure having you here. You kind of really, I'm pretty sure you are so much kind of like David Letterman's. No, who is it? Johnny Carson had the couch.
Yeah.
I guess Letterman had one too. I'm a Letterman guy. I'm a rebel. I like to cause trouble. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, just don't grow a big long beard.
I don't think
that would look very strange on you.
I can't hardly grow anything. This here is all glue right here. So, but no, glad to have you, man. It's always a pleasure. And we'll see with some things kind of going on. I think you have some things kind of coming up too. Next Monday you'll be at an event. But we have Come Ye to Bethlehem. And this is at, it looks like this is Fairview Baptist Church on December 8th at 7 o'clock. They're having a Christmas program out there at Fairview Baptist Church, 349 Turnersburg Highway. Come ye to Bethlehem. And that's what's going on. That's happening. And then Road to Bethlehem, and all these roads lead to Fellowship Baptist Church on Buffalo Shoals. They're having something December 8th through the 9th at 6:30, and it is Road to Bethlehem. So a live nativity drive-through. That should be interesting.
I think so.
Oh, boy. Getting into seasonal mood, folks. So here we go. And and tomorrow down at the Statesville Civic Center from 10 a.m. until 7. From 10:30 until 7, it is a share a meal. It is to support the Good News Bible program in the Iredell Statesville School System, sponsored by the Boys and Girls Club. I will be down there. I'll be around there. I'll have my WSIC microphone, and we'll be laughing and smiling and eating with people. So stop on by. There are tickets that you can buy. I've given all our tickets out here. So, but if you come by tomorrow between 10:30 and 7 p.m. They even got plates to go too, folks. So you can get good food, barbecue chicken, quarter leg, all the trimmings that go along with it, and something to drink in a roll. So anyway, to support the Good News Club, folks, that's over there from the people. The Good News Club, Boys and Girls Club of the Piedmont, Brady Johnson, that outfit over there, Charlie Patton and those guys is really, really good. And you support them. Coming into our community, folks, do good things because it is good when the Bible is good news in your community. And that's very, very important. Then I have another announcement here. It looks like this is saying Thanksgiving, and it's from Faye Tucker. She has this group called Iredell Church, All Things Going On, and it just says Happy Thanksgiving. So it's coming up, folks. A week and 3 days away will be Thanksgiving. How we're going to spend it, what we're going to do, I'm not sure, but I will be eating somewhere, some trimmings for sure. So anyway, all that good stuff. Judge, have you had any adventures? How was your weekend?
It was a pretty good one. I got out, did some hiking, saw my parents, saw my brother.
Hey, Mom and Dad out there, can they hear us? Are they in the area?
No, they're in Hendersonville.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we got to reach over there. Get the internet. Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah, they might.
Hey, Hendersonville, look at your boy. He's on TV. Hey, Mom, come here. Look at that. He's on there. You're not like me. I call all the family, tell everybody, hey, look at me. Like, hit the like button. Hit the like button.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we've seen that guy.
Well, hats off to you, my friend, my brother. God knows you do a great job. We appreciate you around here. And, of course, your lovely wife, Kim, who is the Martha Stewart of all crafts for Iredell County.
I think she likes to think of herself as
I'm giving her a title.
That's
Martha
partly
Stewart.
Partly why I was on that side. She had a craft show, 2-day craft show in Valdez. So.
Good deal. Absolutely. And so, Henry and Sarah, all the best of them. And enjoy your holidays. God bless you, man. Keep on doing what you. Stay safe. And sometimes somebody's going to start following you just for your food habit. Oh, my goodness. He's there. He's got a whole, 3 globs of vanilla ice cream, 2 cherry pies, and a barbecue chicken leg hanging off the side.
No.
He eats, and I'm like, Judge, we got to keep you around, man, but you got to stop eating like that.
Oh, no.
He can pack some food away. But he doesn't look it. Look at it. I mean,
that's why I go hiking.
Yeah.
You got to wear it off,
Anyway, we're all happy for you, and we thank you for stopping by on the record. You're always a friend. You're always up for the conversation. God bless you, man. God keep you, and keep on keeping on. All right, Judge Rob Young, folks. This is On the Record. Brian Summers.